USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her infamous 22 number to...
All right, let's discuss the situation. Due to Sue Bird's recent public breakdown that no one, and really no one anticipated it, the entire Caitlin Clark is at the center of the situation, who is said to have informed Team USA in no ambiguous language that she is totally, if they refuse to let her, she will be done with them. Wear her famous number 22. Additionally, Sue's response to this demand has caused shockwaves throughout the whole basketball globe, abandoning everyone utterly astounded. As of right present, the Team USA's managing director is behind the scenes frantically attempting to limit the harm from this explosive circumstance. However, it's obvious that the situation is getting worse. Of fat and control. This isn't only just a small disagreement, people. This could simply be the most significant crisis that, in recent years, women's basketball has encountered. Perhaps even decades. Thus, prior to diving deep into Sue Bird's astounding response and analyze what Caitlin purportedly stated behind those closed doors, I'd like your opinion. Place. Put yourself in Caitlin's position for a second. Would you be open to giving up over a jersey number, Team USA? Let go of your. Respond in the comment section, because what is happening today could actually alter the USA's entire future. Basketball like it has always been.
Because we ultimately know she was snubbed from the cover of Team USA. And not only is they snubbing her, the disrespect is continuing, because it's looking like Team USA is forcing Caitlin Clark to change her number. Now, this article has...
Okay, so let's get right to the point. The USA basketball team has recently sparked the largest catastrophe in basketball for women. Additionally, this is the kicker. They only did it to themselves. The call was truly made by them to compel Caitlin Clark, who lacks without a doubt, the unquestionable face of the sport today, to relinquish her legendary, internationally renowned number 22 for their training camp in December. Moreover, based on really close sources, Caitlin's reaction to the circumstance was as straightforward as one of her 3 logos. Basically, if I'm unable to wear my number, then I'm not going to be there. Additionally, the consequences of that choice have allegedly dispatched Sue Bird, the managing director of Team USA, into a comprehensive tailspin, going crazy while attempting to determine how this can be avoided. The situation became so disastrously out of command. Let's be quite clear about this is a really significant issue. This isn't just a bureaucratic figure shift. Nearly everyone is watching this. Everyone as an obvious, cunning, and extremely private act of disdain for the star who alone generated many millions of new women's basketball in mind. We are referring specifically to the guy whose the sport itself is not as important as the name at right now. Being informed that her most identifiable symbol, the number that is her brand, needs to be abandoned. It's a incredibly perplexing decision that has admirers, experienced analysts, and practically everyone in between is wondering if, in fact, Team USA's leadership recognizes the generational talent that possess Caitlin Clark.
Yeah, honestly, I'm not a very creative person. I was born on January 22nd, so it's what I went with when I was about 5 years old.
This news is quite shocking. Fell slightly ahead of Team USA's training camp, absolutely critical, which is planned to occur in North Carolina between December 12th and the 14th. You must now comprehend this. Camp was meant to be an enormous commemoration of the sport. It was intended to serve as a display of the greatest skill on the planet, with a constellation of stars similar to Paige, Guji Watkins, Buckers, and numerous others. But rather it being a celebration, it has already turned into the platform for this unparalleled and, to be honest, completely strange dispute that might potentially provide the most well-known name in all of. Unwilling to take part in basketball at all, the report began to surface, disclosing this startling directive that would essentially take away Clark's number that is fully and entirely associated with her record-breaking, her time in college at Iowa, and her absolutely undeniable performances in the WNBA. The decision's timing is what makes it even more confusing and difficult to understand. It appears at the very her notoriety is skyrocketing on a global scale, a fact that only helps to intensify her unadulterated indignation. Extremely committed and expanding quickly, army of backers. And that legion now of supporters is vocally motivating Caitlin to maintain her position, to hold the line, and to decline to make concessions on something so essential and vital to her personality and her worldwide brand.
The Indiana Fever star Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number in women's sports right now. There is no argument to be made. There's no case to be made. Caitlin Clark, number 22, is the most recognizable number for any woman athlete in.
Let's make. There is absolutely no error in this. Anything at all. The number 22 of Caitlin Clark is not only a haphazard series of numbers on a jersey. It doesn't have without a doubt, the most identifiable, most iconic number in all of sports for women at the moment. Forget about it. That's not a viewpoint. It is true. There's really no argument to be made. There isn't legitimate argument that could be made against this indisputable fact. From her incredible reality-bending performances at the University of Iowa, it permanently altered collegiate athletics, to her successful WNBA career with the number 22, Indiana Fever has become an essential part that cannot be separated of who she was. Fans find it to be a beacon, a potent emblem that they can immediately identify from the highest nosebleed seats in crowded arenas and on TV screens throughout the world. To the countless millions of those who track her every step, it is not only a number on a piece of cloth. It is a living, breathing tradition that is being constructed in real time just prior to our eyes themselves. Her whole brand, the tremendously captivating account of her rapid ascent and her amazing, all inspirational tales are inherently is strongly connected to that particular quantity. It represents the bold, long-range three-pointers that are resistant to physics, the court vision that is almost psychic, that observes plays before they take place, and the unwavering determination to succeed that has enthralled a vastly varied audience that extends much beyond the conventional basketball fan base.
We're number 17 at Team USA training camp. On December 24th, news broke that Caitlin Clark will be taking a part in the training, which that's what we talked about at the beginning of the video. Now, this right here this came out this came out on the 24th. So these are the numbers, man. Head on over to Twitter and check this out real quick. So this is what was released right here. It says Lauren Betts. Hold on, here's the ages. Where's the number? Here we go, right here. So these are the numbers. Caitlin Clark. Let me blow this all the way up, man. I want to blow this all the way up so y'all can see this. So as y'all can see there, man, how did Caitlin Clark's number will be changed? So who's wearing 22? Or if you guys remember, Michael Jordan wore number 45 in the Olympics. Could Caitlin, because it don't look like no one's wearing number 22.
Nobody else on the roster is even donning the number 22. She has quite literally come to be associated with the number 22 in the same potent manner that Michael Jordan will always be associated with 23, or the way Wayne Gretzky is forever linked to insist that at this moment in her life, she changed it. Career at the height of her cultural influence seems to be a purposeful and deliberate effort to lessen that extraordinarily strong bond she's developed with her fan base. It's confusing and truly mind-boggling Relocation that leaves everyone pondering what might be the driving force behind it, unless, naturally, the inspiration is precisely what it seems to be on the surface, claiming organizational authority over a participant who has unquestionably grown larger than the organization itself. And this is what makes the entire thing much more annoying for Caitlyn's millions of admirers. This is hardly the first instance that the USA. She seems to have been underrated by basketball. Unprecedented and revolutionary impact. Do you recall this earlier year in which she was noticeably nearly startlingly excluded from the Olympic roster? That obvious absence perplexed both observers and specialists, particularly considering her indisputable appeal worldwide and the enormous television that broke records. Viewership figures that she regularly orders. This new trend of either ignoring or aggressively undercutting her standing as a budding star keeps generating a lot of conjecture that there's a more intricate, deeper. This is an agenda in action. Maybe there's a opposition inside the company to accepting the revolutionary, game-changing paradigm that she so clearly illustrates. Because when you simply take a look at the harsh reality, none of this makes sense logically except you take into account the potential that team. In fact, the United States may be threatened by simply how strong Caitlin Clark has grown. What number were they attempting to compel her to wear in its place? The official term is what Caitlin Clark would be donning. Number 17 for the forthcoming training in the USA. Camp 17. Now, even if it's only an random number by itself, its actual significance is found in the obvious. The fact that it is not at all a number. This forced modification, particularly when you think about the enormous brand, acknowledgement, and value she adds to the table, causes a wide range of unsettling queries. You must inquire, is this a intentional effort by the company